and introducing Luigi Marino.
Hi to everyone. So, today I will introduce the first object we developed, Sensing the Forest, a project on which I'm working with Anna and Pete, and Pete Batchelor and a series of other people, and it's hosted at CHIME. First of all, I wish that this was the first contact with aliens, but it's not, so no paradigmatic shift. It's essentially a radio transmitter, internet-based radio transmitter, with some unique features, of course, like it records the whole year according to the solar time, because what we are using this object for is monitoring of the soundscapes within the forest and live transmission of the soundscape to be used both by artists and scientists in the hope to match the recordings collected throughout the year with the data coming from forestry research about climate change. But since today the main topic is technology, I just wanted to present some of the unique aspects of this kind of design. And as I was saying, it's not the fact that it's a radio that is recording, okay, according with solar time, because birds don't follow our standard clock. But I think that the most interesting thing, it's a matter of the limits and the limits in which we operated and the process of building these objects. Today was the discussion is often centered on artificial intelligence, and rightfully so, because it's definitely something that's going to change everything for everyone. But recently, Daron Acemoglu won the Nobel Prize in Economics, MIT economist. And one of the things his decade-long work was about was associating the technology, how we design technology, with the prosperity of the countries. And he's becoming a little bit skeptical about the positive aspect of the artificial intelligence revolution for how it is conceived now. One of the main reasons is that artificial intelligence, according to the historical data that we are correlating with the economic data of the countries analyzed, many, is probably aiming toward a upward redistribution of the social and economic capital. One thing that I enjoyed very much of this design, which is something, of course, when I arrived, I was involved in a team, so the limits were pre-established. But one thing that I really enjoyed was the extreme limits we encountered for this. So, as I was saying, a sort of, recorder and live streaming radio, not exactly, paradigmatic shift. But let me reframe the kind of work in this way. It had to be completely solar powered because we didn't have mains. It had to be built with eco-friendly materials, so no plastic involved when we could. It had to survive a full year in a forest without any intervention, and it also had to have many ways to solve autonomously all the problems that throughout a year this object might encounter in a harsh environment. And another thing, this is truly a DIY object because we really believe in that culture. Haris was saying about the importance to expand this kind of work outside of the scope of the academic environment. And one of the things that, of course, is important is budget and availability of all the pieces involved in these designs. So another limitation was all the pieces that were found here, including solar panels, circuits, all the things we developed, which is the model, the battery sensor, the code, they had to be based on stuff that is available to everyone, possibly within one click. And no matter if you are within an important center of research and you have a lot of resources. And of course, okay, we start again. Oh, by the way, the sound you are hearing is the live stream of this object, which is surviving the UK winter. Let's say that if that works, we are really safe. For now, it's 3 months that this thing is collecting recordings without skipping any recording, 6 recordings a day, and sending the soundscape autonomously. I work a lot also on signal processing, but this is the artistic work, which is analyzing spectrally the sound to develop installations. But in this brief time, I want to focus on the reason to insist on this DIY approach and the idea of expanding the reach of this project beyond the centers that usually have the possibility to offer this kind of research mostly to the people they accept. And I mentioned Daron Acemoglu, which is raising fair questions. He's nothing against the projects with artificial intelligence, which I loved, and they keep being extremely inspiring. But let's say that this recent assignation and reading his books were extremely interesting, at least to propose a discussion. People like being designers. And another thing that Stanford Jane Odell describes very, very well is that a lot of the projects that because me too, I work often in projects that aim to impact the world through design. This is an old story. The medium is the message. McLuhan, and in a more probably balanced way, Herbert Simon. They all describe the importance of the design in shaping our relationships and the relationships with all the actors, human or non-human, in our network, using Bruno Latour words. And this is out of question that these technologies affect how we go forward. And the fact that often is forgotten, for instance, how we started to use microprocessors in electronic music is very interesting, because that was 76, 78, with Jim Morton, John Bishop, Rick Cold, and David Berman, all working within the institutions. David Berman was Harvard PhD, and all the others were working at Mills College. And the desire of use microprocessors, there is a Raspberry Pi there, and this is the only microprocessor that is there. The desire to use microprocessors was that they believed that electronic music had to go beyond the possibility of being accepted at Princeton. And they were all super proficient academics, or at least in the institutions. So it's not a matter of, this is bad and this is good. It was just a matter of the importance of working with serious limitations with an object that instead of costing $2 million was costing $500. So they accepted, for instance, working with music at 8-bit. That was already a huge problem back then in terms of reception. but their long-lasting presence, because they were the inventors of network music, the first applications of microprocessors, and many things that now are considered seminal, was very inspiring for this DIY approach that we are embracing. And again, it was mostly a matter of limitations. So the radio isn't changing, anything you probably know about technologies. But hopefully, the process of building and applying our creative energies, by the way, the impermeabilization, because that is surviving, again, in the wild. That is PLA, which is not waterproof, impermeabilized with beeswax. And all the materials we used are in that very low-tech direction. And what we are hoping to do is, after 1 year, we want to have a prototype of something built with these very lo-fi things that everyone can find, but give a blueprint of something that works, a project that works with solar lights, giving the right informations about how to replicate these projects and to make them accessible pretty much to everyone. The conditions in the forest are really harsh, so the amount of difficulties we had to find, this is 2 weeks in a forest without conformal coating. Everything gets destroyed, so the amount of problems we found were a lot. But we hope that in this process, that for now seems to be working, we can actually go in a direction, let's say, to be a nice counterpart of these extremely high-tech and interesting researches that necessarily require very smart people in university working on designs and then presenting these designs with limitations. Essentially, the tutorials we are doing with these projects give the blueprint to many people to also be designers of this kind of technologies without the need of accepting the design imposed by others, which is always part of our research. So it's nothing against that. It's just another form of approach, or another approach, apologies. And yeah, that's it, because it's 12 minutes. Thank you.
Brilliant, thank you. So we're running just a few minutes late, so we've got 3 minutes for questions. Does anyone have any questions?
Hello, thank you for an interesting talk. So I was just wondering about the audio that you're capturing, the audio range. Is it all just in the range of human hearing, or are you capturing sounds outside the range of human hearing?
The MEMS microphone, there are limitations to the MEMS microphone we used, because to cut the budget and making available, we didn't use very ultra high-end material. So there is 48 hertz, kilohertz, and 32 bits.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you. Any other questions? I have one. It's it really sort of is quite something I've been thinking about a lot recently. It's been about solar powering, specifically the solar powering of kind of servers and electronical. I've made up a word there. Sorry, that's really embarrassing, isn't it? Electronic projects, and I'm very inspired to see you having something out there in the wild. And so I guess it's more of an observation. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Hi, thank you. I was wondering if you're talking about the DIY aspect of it. I was wondering if they're like what the budget would be if I wanted to put up a. Did you already mention this?
I didn't, but this is a very good one, because we worked very intensely on that. Like, if you wanted to survive during the summer, for less than £100, you get everything, including the solar panel. So really for everyone. And the winter, no, because you had to add requirements about solar panels, which is the most expensive thing. But that was a Raspberry Pi 02W, which was more than enough to do that, to do statistics about the recordings, to send the log every morning. Every morning I receive a log that tells me if that thing survived, what's the battery level, if it's happy or not, etc., etc. And yeah.
Okay, I think we're out of time, so... Oh, we've got one more. I've been...
How many units do you want to build, or is it that an intention to build many units so that you can have multiple collection points?
Yes, for now we have 2 units. I'm planning to install another one in a different place inside a beehive, if that works. But the idea is that working in, free knowledge, free code, and stuff developed with Raspberry Pis, Linux, and 3D printers, everyone actually can develop something like this, adding their own features and contribute to also, we started from the Locus Onus project, a fantastic project that had all these recorders around the world and still has it. But this is an approach that gives more freedom to the users to develop their own stations and become somehow designers of these things.
Brilliant. Oh.
No, it is.
Okay. Brilliant. Thank you so much. I'll take that as well.